You've been here long enough to know that one of our, from my perspective, the most prestigious award that we give, particularly to juniors, is at our Heroes Assembly. And you've sat through this a couple of times. And every year we do this to honor and celebrate a junior who we feel exhibits some really special qualities. And we talk about heroes at that assembly. You know, we talk about what it takes not to be someone in the headlines and be like a football hero or a basketball hero, but someone that just is on that ground floor of, you know, being resilient and good at relationships and kind and compassionate and has the ability to bounce back from difficult situations. And we think it's a really special way to honor special people. So, you know, I've had a lot of different heroes in my life, you know, from coaches to teachers to colleagues. And one thing that they've always taught me is that you have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to live up to your values. You have to be able to bounce back from difficult times and just keep moving forward. And we had a really special hero at this school, and that's what we've named this award after, who kind of personified that. And he was a great example and a great role model to not only his fellow students, but to the faculty and staff. And so a few years ago, and Mr. Evans is going to talk about Carlos in just a few minutes, but we created this award, I don't know how many years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And every year because Carlos was a junior, we honor a junior in his name. And so that's what we want to do today, because we think that you exhibit a lot of the qualities that you're going to hear about from Mr. Evans that Carlos kind of exhibited to us during his time at South Point Catholic. So this is a special day. We wish we could be in the gym with 1,200 people, but like everything, we're just kind of doing the best. But in no way does it diminish the fact that there aren't 1,200 people here. In no way does it diminish you know, what you mean to South Point and what we think of you. Okay, so Mr. Evans.
Welcome, Erin and Jennifer. Thanks for being here. Obviously, as Mike said, the circumstances would be a little different, and one of the main things that is missing this year is Carlos's parents, Ford and Cecilia. The Valencias typically join us, and I think have joined us every year. So under the circumstances, they graciously said, thank you, we wish we could be there, we want to watch it, and give them our love. So that would be sort of the key piece that I want you guys to know. So I stand before you to recognize a junior here at South Point Catholic who will be the recipient of the 2020 Carlos Valencia Award. Before I begin to explain the award and why it is so special to the South Point community, I'd like to acknowledge Carlos's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Valencia. And I'd like to thank them for allowing us this opportunity. Under different circumstances, they would be here with us today. Today we honor both your son, Carlos, and a current South Point Catholic junior who best exemplifies the life that Carlos lived. So who is Carlos Valencia, and what is this award? Carlos Valencia died on August 8, 2004, following a 4-year battle with leukemia. He was a junior at South Point Catholic and only 16 years old. Carlos will never go down in South Point history as an incredible scholar or as one of our outstanding athletes, thespians, or artists. Most of you didn't know Carlos, and if he was still with us today, you might not be able to pick him out in the crowd. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, and even when he became a public figure in Tucson, he was just Carlos, the kid with the biggest heart and the widest smile, and the leukemia that would eventually overcome him. But Carlos's great courage, his selflessness, and his ability to move us all to action make him one of South Point Catholic's greatest heroes. On Thursday, February 10th, 2005, we dedicated the fountain in the front of the school to Carlos. That day, Bishop Canis said this: "There are certain people in the world that can bring others together to coalesce as a community and think beyond themselves. Carlos was that kind of special person. Carlos fought the disease for 4 years. The stories about Carlos and his unwillingness to give up captivated Tucson and filled the newspaper and the television reports. But his dad, Ford, said Carlos was a simple guy, and I'm not sure he understood why the publicity was happening, and it always surprised him. Carlos inspired the largest bone marrow drives ever seen in Tucson. Because of Carlos, 6,000 Tucsonans signed up to be tested for bone marrow matches, which ultimately helped others survive the disease. Unfortunately, a bone marrow match for Carlos was never found. During his battle with the leukemia, Carlos had 4 cord blood transplants, and despite the toll they took on his body, he always came back to school, picked up with his friends, got caught up with his schoolwork, and most importantly, got on with his life. Sal Point was in awe of his upbeat attitude, his dedication to his family and friends, and his concern that people not get too down about his condition. Here was a young man who had a fatal disease, and he was more worried about others than himself. While he was slowly slipping away, Carlos truly taught us about the most important things in life. He inspired many to think beyond themselves and taught so many of us lessons of strength, of courage, and of optimism. This year's recipient of the Carlos Valencia Award is someone who shares many of Carlos's traits. Faced with challenges in life that would have brought most of us to our knees, this Sal Point Jr. has blessed us with her unconditional kindness and her infectious smile each and every day. At the young age of 17, she inspires us with her unselfish behavior and her ability to persevere. We stand in awe of this young woman's never-ending sense of compassion, kindness, and resiliency. As with Carlos, her gentle personality hides a will of iron. We certainly can learn a lot about life from this Sal Point Catholic hero, and it is my pleasure to announce the 2020 Carlos Valencia Award recipient, Erin M.
Thank you, Mr. Lansky, and thank you, Mr. Evans. Beautifully done. I had the honor and privilege of knowing Carlos when I first came to Sal Point. He was a freshman. And in all honesty, he had the most sparkly eyes and the biggest smile and the smallest ego that you'll ever know. He certainly didn't set out to be a hero. He wanted normalcy. Hello, isn't that what we all want today? But he learned to take his pain in stride and reach out to everybody else. He was all about brightening the day of everyone he came in contact with. So Erin, we are so honored today to elevate you to that status of hero, a Lancer hero forever. Your name will go on our plaque. You will always be in our highest esteem. And so congratulations, not just from us here, but for the entire Sal Point community of 1,259 students, 140 faculty and staff, and 17,000 alums. Congratulations.